I think one of the things we find really interesting about Level Up is like when we first started, there were 30 games in an education suite at TIFF, and we've gone from that to this in a relatively short period of time. So we've got many more institutions involved in this year. We have, I think, when last time I counted, somewhat around 80 games being showcased across the whole event. There's a real diversity of different types of games on display.
An exciting addition to the showcase this year was Ubisoft Toronto as a main partner.
Super excited about being a partner with the Level Up this time. I mean, we hire so many students from all these different schools, so we're kind of excited to see what they do kind of as their own projects, you know, as opposed to like portfolios that we see after they've graduated. So it's kind of exciting for us to see them kind of do what we do on their own terms.
The game designers took advantage of every bit of technology to show off their games, including the much-hyped Oculus Rift.
One of our programmers happened to actually have the Oculus Rift from money he got from a game jam, and he was just like, oh yeah, well, why don't we just implement it? And it seems to be a pretty big hit, and you actually play in first person. You literally joust in an office with your employee friends, and you go around on your rolly chairs with a mop, and you joust ahead.
Remarkably, one of the games featured was completely hands-free.
It's a musical space shooter that you control with hand gestures. So essentially, it's like just like steering like a driving wheel. Steer the ship, open your hands to shoot, and that's basically it. You match the ship's color to the blocks you see on the screen. The blocks change color every 10 seconds, so you're always kind of on your toes. And the goal of the game is to get as many points as possible. I've seen some people do way better than I could already, so that's something that's interesting.
The games for mobile devices were well represented and in demand.
We took the Cthulhu mythos and the lovable bow of Miss Pac-Man and made a fun kaiju Lovecraftian destruction game for the whole family.
It's very arcadey, so it's actually just simple controls. You just touch, wherever you touch, a tentacle is going to fire out. And all you're trying to do is survive and get as high a score as possible. So you can basically destroy anything on screen. You've got soldiers, you've got civilians, tanks, and you've got cultists that worship you and heal you, but you can destroy them anyways because you're a giant monster and that's what you do.
While we only chatted with 3 of the development teams, 80 games to play will take anyone's breath away.
I am utterly blown away. Number one, you know, these guys are doing it on their own time. It is a ton of work, and these guys are ambitious and they're reaching for stuff. They're super creative, and they're really pulling it off. It's amazing.